So here's a thought that I've only partially shared, I guess, is the best way to say this. It's what usually goes through my mind when I've ever had somebody look at me and say, "But you're a therapist, shouldn't you?" Let me tell you, let me tell you something that has been running through my head for a very long time that I have just been holding back, and I've never actually looked at the person, and I've never said this to them. So I'm gonna say it to you all right now. Usually that statement has been made to me whenever I've gotten into a disagreement with somebody over something, and maybe I did lose my composure or said something that was kind of just not in my character or whatever, right? Or I wouldn't give the amount of understanding that the person standing in front of me is used to me giving. And I said it like that because you and I both know it's not about understanding. It's based to just sort of manipulate and control and do all the things. When I would not do that, I would usually be met with, "Oh, but Casey, you're a therapist." God dang it. Here's what I've always wanted to say back, but I usually would hold it back because I'm not interested in freaking fighting. I am usually just trying to get the conversation to be done because it's torture for me to stay in whatever the hell is going on. I'm struggling to call it a conversation because that's not what's actually happening when you're talking to someone who is emotionally immature. It just feels like you're sitting here listening to a toddler, and it really pisses me off. You know, I've always wanted to look at somebody and just say, first of all, what does that have anything to do with what is happening right now here in this moment? And second of all, you are also a human. If we're going to use the fact that I'm a therapist against me because I raised my tone just a tiny bit, then let's talk about the fact that you're a human being and you've been through some things in your life, and you would think by now that you would know what it's like to feel just an ounce of pain. Because if you did, then you would not be standing here in front of me talking to me the way that you are. So, you know, what in the hell? Y'all, we just got to think about these things. And my final thought, as I told my therapist yesterday, I have never been able to understand since I was a little girl, and now that I've been telling everybody all of my business, you all are now understanding more, that ever since I was a little girl, I never understood why people were so cruel to people, because I honestly assumed that everybody had been living some kind of life of torture like I had been living. And so I just assumed that we were all hurting the exact same way. And I was right. Damn it. But not all of us talk about it. Not all of us feel comfortable leaning into that pain. And look at the world that we live in now. If only we were all better with being vulnerable. So anyway, next time you talk to a therapist and they raise their voice or they say something stupid, please, for the love of God, don't look at them and say, "Oh, but you're a therapist." That is like the most ignorant damn thing that could come out of a person's mouth. Probably not the most, but it's definitely an ignorant thing that can come out of a person's mouth. So don't say it. Don't say it.